All right, so another video tonight. A lot of these videos are pretty much just reminders to myself, if I'm being honest. I'm not really uploading these, for anybody in particular, right? Pretty much my own audience. Um, but the other day I saw a podcast that featured the super producer Benny Blanco, a pop producer. And there were some words that he said, that really resonated with me. And I'm going to read it right here directly. He said, and I quote, for advice, for musicians and creative minds, just start. Start today, start yesterday, start. Just start. Because you never know what you're going to be. Put up your music, make videos, express yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. If your music sounds like everybody else, then it's probably not that good yet. You should do something that makes it sound like you. Be original, be yourself, fuck everybody else. Those were Benny Blanco's words. It was from a Daniel Wall podcast, which I've been really obsessed with recently. That really does warp my way. It really does change, how I think, about like writing tunes and creating. Um, he's not saying, chase trends, or be a perfectionist by any means. Although, although I've fallen into that trap, like in several times. He was just saying, start messy, start loud, start now. When you write a song, for like the first hour, you know, start messy, it goes back, to elementary school when we were thinking about like rough drafts, it's supposed to be rough, and then polish, like later. I've also fallen into that trap, right, where you kind of have to like wait until you found yourself, or you're ready, or you know who you are, right? You have to have the right gear. You have to have the right guitars, or the right microphone, right? Or the right song, or really the right anything. Um, I've fallen into that trap so many times. But Mr. Blanco, Mr. Benny Blanco, Mr. Benjamin Levin Blanco, I don't know his full name, but he's made pretty much some of the most massive songs in the world, right? He's worked with Britney Spears. He's done a lot of co-writes, on some Katy Perry stuff, Juice World, Eminem, I think. And his advice is pretty much, to pretty much rejects, all of those things that I was mentioning, right? You pretty much find your own sound by starting. Um, you just need to make some stuff, that doesn't quite sound right yet. Um, you know, be bold. Be bold. Make something, that doesn't sound like everybody else in particular. At the end of that podcast, he said, fuck everybody else. It's not really about being careless per se. It's about having creative liberties, being free. Um, don't try to impress people. I've fallen into that trap way too many times. Um, impress, express, right? Don't impress, just express. Um, that's when, like the real stuff, that's when the real good stuff starts to begin. That's when you start showing up and actually putting, in the work. So that's definitely something I need to be more mindful of, in a sense. I don't need anybody's permission, to make music. I don't need anybody's permission or have to wait for the right sound or the right gear or anything, just make things, that I genuinely like, chase sounds, that sound like me, you know, and I need to work on that. I need to work on that for sure. I'm gonna head to bed. I'm just recording this video, as a personal note to myself. Gonna call it a night.